Hi everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the founder of TravelSisters. We're a female-only travel community and usually we'd empower you to travel safely together by using our app. But lockdown kind of sucks. So here's our special coronavirus travel interview series. I'll be interviewing some interesting and fun travel sisters from our community living across the whole world. And if you want to join and have a travel chat with me as well, then make sure to join our group and let us know. Hi Cait, thank you so much for joining me on this call today. How about we start by introducing yourself a bit and tell us where you're in lockdown and how the situation is over there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Cait Teff. I am American, obviously, via the accent. I am currently based in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I moved here kind of right before everything went into place. But the situation here is, I would say, pretty bad. Michigan is the fourth worst cases of coronavirus in the US. We've had over 15,000 deaths. And so, with that in mind, our governor recently put a lot more restrictions into place. And so previously we could do things like go between your home and your vacation home and like go see family but not friends. And we can't do any of that anymore. You're really only allowed to leave your house to go grocery shopping or to like go do physical activity at this point.
Welcome to my life.
Exactly.
Okay, and if it wasn't for lockdown, what are your top three things to do in your area usually?
Yeah, so I'm new to the area, but I have been able to check out a couple of things. So for me, number one is absolutely Literati. It's this really great local bookstore. It's right downtown, so it's a fun place to kind of walk around in as well. But what's great about Literati is they have events almost every single day. They run 10 different types of book clubs. And they've been really cool during quarantine as well. So they were really concerned that quarantine would shut them down since they're small and local. But they really pushed to have people go to online sales, and they've succeeded there. They started a GoFundMe that was funded within 48 hours. And they also have been doing things like creating Zoom book clubs. And so they're still running a lot of their great activities, and they're still getting authors to join those book clubs and talk to everyone on Zoom. And that's been really awesome. My second place is probably the Arb, or the Arboretum at University of Michigan. It's centrally located on the campus, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It's a great place to go running or walking. I've got a lot of friends who run there. I run there, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So my third place would be Jolly Pumpkin Brewery. They're a brewery, and they are obviously making beers, and they've got a couple of good ones. But what they're really excellent at is truffle pizza. So
Ooh.
make sure to stop there and eat when you come to Ann Arbor.
Okay, that sounds lovely. I love truffles.
Yeah.
And what are your top three favorite places that you have visited?
Yeah. So I would have to say Acadia National Park, which is in Maine here in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Chengdu, China, which is in the Sichuan province, so very central. And then my last one is a toss up. So I'm going to cheat and say two. I'm torn between Cape Town, South Africa, and Tel Aviv, Israel.
Okay. How comes these places?
Yeah. So those three places, Acadia National Park, because it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to hike and sort of explore. And the city that is kind of next to or in the park, Bar Harbor, is just this absolutely adorable town. And it's kind of quintessential great things about like small town USA. And also, you can't beat wild blueberry frozen yogurt.
Yeah.
Um, and then for Chengdu, I lived in Sichuan province in China, and Chengdu is just the most vibrant city that I visited in China out of the numerous ones that I did visit both in Sichuan and outside of it. Chengdu just has this incredible vibe for both food and for tea, and it's known as kind of being the foodie mecca of
Okay.
China.
Nice.
Um, and so there's just this crazy amount of cool stuff to explore. Plus, it's got an incredibly rich history. And so there's lots of incredible stuff to explore. And Chengdu is a city that um, it feels very different to Beijing or Shanghai, and it often doesn't make
Mm.
people's lists. But it's easy to get to, and plus it's where the pandas are. So if you've any interest in those guys, gotta go check them out.
You got me at pandas and food.
Yeah, yeah. And tea houses, man, nothing beats a good tea house.
Yes.
And then my toss up between Cape Town and Tel Aviv is a bit of, they're very similar in terms of both being beach towns, both being really great weather, and both being kind of cool, hip places to be, where you've got a great mix of universities and clubs and kind of all those really great things, but that feel very different to other places. Part of the reason I'm torn is because I think that there are great pros to Cape Town in that you're really close to Stellenbosch, and so you've got this beautiful wine country right there, and the surfing is really great. But I also love Tel Aviv because the food and the culture of Israel is just so incredible. And so they end up both being really hard for me to choose between.
That's fair enough. I think it's generally a very hard question to just narrow it down to 3 countries. It's
Yeah,
just so many beautiful places in the world. I don't want to have to choose at all.
exactly.
If money didn't matter, where would you go right after lockdown?
If money didn't matter, I would try and do a um, they call it like a London to Cairo trip. And
Wow.
you take a caravan, and you start in like Gibraltar and go all the way around the coast. So you see like 30 something countries in Africa. That would be the trip I would do.
That sounds amazing. Probably would need quite a bit of time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it takes I think like 36 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
It's definitely the majority of a year, but it's a life goal to do for sure.
Sounds amazing. And what would be your top travel tip?
My top travel tip would be to carry your own silverware. It's
What?
it's a really funny thing, but I'm a little bit picky about what I eat with, but also I often find that it's really helpful to have a fork on hand or have a spoon on hand, because I go into a small store and I pick up a yogurt and they don't have spoons, or um or someone wants to give me a plastic spoon, but I really want to be sustainable, and so I want to avoid taking that if I can.
Mm.
Um, and then additionally, so many places at this point have outlawed straws, and so it's really helpful to have one if you're someone who prefers to drink with one, or just in case you want the ease of not having to tilt your head back every time you drink.
Fair enough. And I love the sustainability aspect as well off the tip. So yeah.
Yeah, I always have like chopsticks, a spoon, and a straw on me. So
Perfect. You're a person to travel with.
yeah,
Well, thank you so much for joining me on this conversation. It's been super interesting. And I'll let you go off with the 4 top travel destinations.
yeah,
I hope you stay safe, especially in Michigan being hit quite hard with coronavirus. And hope to speak to you soon.
yeah. You as well. Thanks so much,
Thank
Alex.
you. Bye.
Bye.